Hello everyone and welcome to A Slice of My Life. This is the afterthoughts video or the follow-up video of the pressure bar by Real Orbit. Now, as I begin, I want to set some records straight. I want to clarify some stuff. So let's just do that and get that out of the way first. Now, I spoke quite a bit. Okay, let's just be honest about this. There was quite a lot of drama from when I made the initial impressions video up till now. So I just want to set something straight. I spoke quite a lot to Nathan Benjamin, aka Yelling Eyes Design, and I got a lot more insight about the pressure bar. And I'm gonna share that with you right now. To address those who are still calling this a clone, let me just set the record straight for everyone so that we all can be on the same understanding here. And everyone knows that the iFidget of Venom Designs has a very strong following. Now Nathan is one of those people who really love the iFidget. Nothing wrong with that. And the reason why he designed the pressure bar is because the iFidget got discontinued, and for him he wanted to have a replacement. He wanted something that he himself would really enjoy, and because of that, this was created as, in his mind, a replacement for the iFidget. So he does design something that he would really personally enjoy based off his favorite spinner. Now, of course, at that point of time, I won't even call it a clone. I would say that he made this spinner with the iFidget as the base. But as the design evolved through the different iterations, eventually it became what you see in front of you today, which is completely nothing like the iFidget at all. I just wanted you guys to know that, okay? At least now there's some history to this and the reason why it started. Yes, it got inspired by the iFidget, but look at what it is today. It's completely nothing like the iFidget. And the next thing I want to clarify is something that we saw at the end of the first video, is that this, you could table spin it on a solid surface. The tolerances are really tight. The buttons are just a hair's width taller than the height of the weights. So if I do this lightly, yes, I could spin it for a little bit, but because this display mat, and yes, it is a very well made double layered display mat by Covers Customs, it has some squish to it, right? Because it's a soft fabric, and therefore you wouldn't be able to table spin it like this. See? That table spins completely fine. Now the next thing that I want to talk about is something that Helen Delamar actually mentioned or commented in the previous video. So thank you, Helen, for asking that question. She wrote that she heard a rumor that this is not press fit, it might be slip fit. So I'm here to kind of show you guys that I have changed the bearing out. If you guys look at the previous video, you'll know that it is a full stainless steel bearing. And I'm here to tell you guys that this is really a press fit. Funny how people like Random Fabrications would actually come in and say that this is clearly a slip fit spinner. I mean, first of all, it's listed on the website that it is a press fit spinner. Second, Nathan Benjamin, the designer of this spinner, said that it is a press fit spinner. And then Angelo, who is the man that got everything manufactured, also said that it is a press fit spinner. So I'm quite amazed that anyone is able to actually tell if it's a slip fit or a press fit just by looking at this in a video. That's actually a pretty good skill if you got it down pat. But unfortunately, you're wrong this time. This is a press fit spinner and I'm here to show it to you. So I got my bearing removal tool here. This is a very old bearing removal tool that I bought off, I think it was Taobao. This is like, I don't know how old. This is like a year or so. But yep, let me just quickly show you guys so I can just get this out of the way and then continue talking about the spinner. So here we go. Okay, the bearing's being pushed out halfway. I want to show it to you guys first. Look at that. There's no adhesive at all. Can we continue? Done deal, everyone. Here you go, this is the bearing. Look at it for yourselves. There is no adhesive at all on the bearing. And there's no adhesive on the inside, the bearing slot itself. So this is truly a press fit. I have an SBV2. See that? This one that came out doesn't have any marking. So I'll put this aside right here. And now I'm going to install this SBV2 into the spinner itself. Keep the logo here so that you guys can see it, and you just gotta make sure that you align it correctly. Yep, it looks to be aligned quite okay right now. Let's just pop this thing on. Here we go. Here we go, guys. So it's not aligned too perfectly. I'm gonna make sure that the alignment is correct right now. Just put this back on. And that is it. Should be perfectly aligned. Yup, perfectly aligned. Just pop the buttons back on. Yup, perfectly fine. See everyone, this is truly a press fit spinner. It's not a slip fit, doesn't require any kind of adhesive, and it's held in there beautifully as long as you have a bearing removal or installation tool. Fashion one out of like some DIY parts or spare parts, or just buy one from the internet, you know. So yes guys, proof that this is a press fit spinner. And I did mention to Helen that from now on I will try my best whenever I review a spinner to make sure to check if it truly is a press fit spinner or if it's a slip fit spinner. But yes, once again, this is a press fit spinner. Moving on, I'll put the previous bearing that I used right there, and I will leave the SBV2 bearing in the pressure bar because the pressure bar will ship with SBV2 bearings installed. And this is the kind of sound and resonance that you will hear when you spin it. Of course, you guys can't feel it, but I do. And SBV2 bearings are possibly my favorite bearings. And the next thing that I want to clarify, or basically just add more information about, is that the pressure bar will ship out with 2 sets of buttons. So you'll see one set of buttons like these, and the other button set, if I'm not wrong, is a plain set of buttons, and those are shorter or shallower than these buttons here. And if I'm not wrong as well, those buttons were the original design buttons for the pressure bar. So that's actually quite cool that you get 2 sets of buttons shipped out to you for the price of this spinner. And talking about the price, I also screwed up in my previous video guys. It is going for 95 Australian dollars, and I don't know why. For some reason I just converted I converted it almost 1-to-1 for US dollar, and I'm sorry. The price in USD is actually about 70 bucks, not 90 bucks. I'll be honest and upfront with you guys, I thought that 90 bucks for this is actually quite a good value for money, but now that it's 70, it just makes it even more worth the money. I mean, you'll get 2 buttons with this, you'll get SBV2s with it, and of course you'll get it straight from Real Orbit, which means wonderful packaging. You guys already saw the straw style boxes. Now with all of that out of the way, this is my final verdict on the pressure bar. You guys know I spent at least 2 weeks with this on my EDC, and the reason why I took so long is number 1, because I really wanted to give it time. Number 2 is because there was really a lot of drama, and because of that drama I wanted to speak more to the maker, the designer, and just find out more information about it, and I shared all of that with you at the start of the video, and also to let things simmer down for a little bit. So I feel that now is a good time to actually get this all recorded down, edited, and uploaded for you guys. So the first thing I will point out is that if you guys take a closer look, I don't know if it shows up on camera, right there, you'll see some scuffs and scratches, and this, I have no idea how I got those scratches on, but there are some on the sides as well, like right there. Yeah, you'll see that hairline scratch there and here as well. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know how I got those scratches. I don't know how I handled it to the point that it got those scratches, but it did. And you know, just hard use, I suppose. So for those of you who want to keep this in its mint form, then you got to be a little bit more careful, because, you know, I just fidgeted with this without a care in the world, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't even afraid if I was gonna drop it. Sorry, Angelo, I really didn't care if I was gonna drop it, because I was enjoying my experience with this so much. Now, that speaks a lot, because like I mentioned to you guys, this is actually a unique design, something different, very, very different from what we have nowadays, because of this curvature here. I really like this curvature a lot. It feels really, really good, and this is something that has not changed, you know, in terms of my impressions from what I initially felt and what it is right now. In terms of fidgeting with it, it is great. It is great. I never felt any problems fidgeting with this, whether it's pulls or pushes, or even if it's fidgeting with my index finger or my 4th finger. And yes, we can still jib jab, no problem with jib jabbing. In fact, sometimes when I'm performing jib jabs, I want to point this out, is that I realize that when I'm pulling with my 4th finger, I actually sometimes pull on the face of the weight itself. See? So it could be, okay, let me see if I can do this on camera. So I'll try and do this upside down. So jib jab. There, I just did that. I did it again. See? It's flat like that. So this actually happens, and I find this interesting because I've never done this on any other spinner. Probably because of the design. This is, of course, tapered up upwards like that, upwards and outwards, and of course this area over here is a wide flat area, so I think that actually helps quite a bit. The thing is, this only happens with my fourth finger. Whether or not I'm holding it with an index finger and thumb grip, sometimes that happens, or whether I'm holding it with my middle finger and thumb grip, it just happens only on my fourth finger. Because my usual style of fidgeting is just like this, performing pulls. And because I'm performing pulls, I don't actually find my middle finger landing smack in the middle of the weights. It's just my fourth finger. And it is a nice weight. It's about 80 grams, which is almost right smack in the middle of the weight range of my preference. And so this actually adds on to the fidgeting experience as well. It's not too light, not too heavy. It's got its weights nicely thrown out like that, so you do get a nice satisfying feedback, especially when you perform pulls like that. You actually feel that inertia, and I really enjoy that a lot. Sorry, I didn't mean to make that a pun or anything. I know Real Orbit makes the inertia spinner, but yes, you get what I mean when you actually pull a spinner with weights that are thrown out. And that leads me to the spin times. So spin times on this guy, two-handed table spin, is surprisingly about 5 minutes each, and that is surprising. I thought this was gonna get like 4 minutes, so yeah, I mean, it's not too far off, but then again, from 4 minutes to 5 minutes, it's quite a big difference. You know what I mean? Like 1 minute extra after 4 minutes is really no joke. So good job on the design, good job on the production, and this is just very nicely weighted. Now is the only main downside that I feel, or the negative point that I have about the pressure bar, and that is to do with the buttons. I don't really like the buttons being so shallow. I think these buttons are fine. Like in terms of the way they feel, the kind of grip that they offer, the kind of feedback that they give. I don't even know if you could say that buttons give you feedback, but yeah, I mean, tactile feedback, you know what I mean? Like the way that they feel. I'm sorry guys. You guys know what I mean. But I feel that the buttons could have been a little bit taller, you know? And the reason why I wish that they were a bit taller is because sometimes I just really want to just put it down on the table and spin it like that. And if it's like on a stack of papers or something a bit softer, then, you know, unfortunately it's not going to spin. I just didn't really enjoy this. And the fact that I keep doing that means I'm kind of like polishing the edge right here. You know what I mean? Holding this in hand, in between the fingers like that, that's not a problem. I already showed it to you guys that the fat of my thumbs will not be hitting the weights, but something slightly taller definitely I think would have been a bit more desirable. Like for me, it's a personal opinion. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swap the buttons out for something like really tall in my opinion, and that is the Collider buttons by Unquiet Hands. And these buttons are actually pretty darn tall. Look at that. Compare them to these buttons here, almost twice the height. Look at that. So this now feels really different to have my fingers further apart with a lot more clearance from the buttons to the weights and the ability to table spin now any point of time, anywhere. I actually found myself enjoying this a lot more with taller buttons. Now I'm not knocking these buttons, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking these buttons. I just wish that the buttons were taller. That's a negative point for me. I mean, I haven't handled the other button style that will be coming with the pressure bar, but you know, just based off this itself, I wish that this was maybe just 1 or 2 millimeters taller than what they are. I don't think that would compromise a lot on the overall look, because you know, this from side view now looks a little bit strange because the buttons are kind of like now really out of proportion in my opinion. But I think if it's by just 1 millimeter, I'm talking about total height, then maybe, you know, it would probably improve the experience in my opinion, and at the same time still maintain that very sleek look from the side. Yep. Yeah, and that's about it for my overall opinions, everyone. That's my final verdict on the pressure bar. So far, I've enjoyed my experience with this very thoroughly, and I gradually found myself liking the spinner more and more over time, even though I'm not able to table spin it on a stack of papers. And I keep saying a stack of papers is because I have a stack of papers right next to me all the time at work. And you know, when you use your right hand for a mouse, generally you fidget with your left hand. So when I get tired of having my hand like that on the table, I just put it down and I want to fidget with it like that. So that's the reason why I keep talking about a stack of papers. I mean, I'm just giving you a very realistic, real life scenario that I go through every day on the daily. I keep repeating stuff like that. Real life, realistic scenario every day on the daily. I'm sorry guys, but you guys know what I mean. I apologize. I know it's really funny. You guys can laugh at me, please do. Last but not least, if any one of you is interested in getting one of the pressure bars, I have some good news for you. I have a promo code. Yes, that's right, everyone. Promo code. This promo code will give you about 13 Australian dollars off purchase. If I'm not wrong, that translates to about 10 US. And think about it, it's already 70 US and it's really value for money. And now with that promo code, it's 60. That's a no-brainer, guys. That's really a no-brainer. In fact, I think I'm gonna purchase one for myself right after I record this video because I really like the pressure bar. I think it's a cool one to have in your collection because this is just so unique. It's my first time actually seeing such a large surface area and it's curved like that. I think this, like, wow, this is just cool. Like, I don't really have much negatives to say besides the buttons, but buttons can be changed out easily because I have a lot of buttons. You know, they don't call me Button Ben for nothing. Really, really worth the money. So the promo code is PBPRMF. Yep. It's a strange promo code, but anyway, I will also be putting the code in the description box below so that you guys can copy and paste it. But make sure you apply the promo code when you check out and hurry up because this is limited. 20 pieces per material, stainless steel or bronze. Make it quick, guys, make it quick because who knows, they might never ever be made ever again, and I don't want to gamble on that. I'm just gonna get one because 1 out of 20 pieces, just like what? Okay, 20 pieces for the first run. I'm not gonna think anymore. I'm definitely gonna get myself one of these after this video. And that's about it, everyone. That is my final verdict and what I really think about the pressure bar after spending quite some time with this. Ignore all the drama and all that. I hope that I addressed all the important information for you guys. And I also hope that I provided enough information to help you decide whether or not the pressure bar is a spinner for you. Once again, a huge shout out to Angelo of Real Orbit for sending this over to me. Thank you so much, man. Always thank you for the support in the channel. Of course, you guys remember I said before that Angelo actually gave an extra inertia for a giveaway. So that will be coming up really, really soon. Stay tuned for that. Thank you for sticking all the way throughout. And until the next video, everyone, I will see you then. Gaga Boost.